Hello, welcome back to Elise Reads and Speaks. Today I am bringing you my May arcs. These are all the arcs that I will read for the month of May. Although perhaps maybe I won't because April did not go so well. I think some of those books put me in a slump, so I'm a little behind, which kind of sucks because I have a couple for May 4th, but you know what? I'm gonna do what I can do. All right, so I'm gonna start at the beginning of the month to the end of the month. We'll see what I got. So the first one that I'm starting off with is really confusing because when I got approved for it, it was March 24th and the publication date said March 18th. And I was like, you're gonna approve me for an arc after you've already debuted? Like, I don't understand. And then I saw on NetGalley that it got switched to May 4th, and I was like, oh, okay, the publication date got pushed back. You know, but recently when I checked, it got pushed back to March 18th, and I looked at Goodreads, and the release date says March 18th, and I'm like, all right, you know what? You approved me after you were already out in the world. You are not high on my list of priorities. So chances are I'm not going to get to this one first or possibly even in the month of May, but I'm going to include it in the month of May because I have not mentioned it before. All right, now that I've talked about it enough, the title is Shadow in the Glass. This one is by J.J.A. Harwood. This one is like a Cinderella retelling. Man, I love me some retellings. So this one, the little twist that's on it, I guess the fairy godmother gives her 7 wishes, but each time she makes a wish, you know, the wish, the magic, has a price. I don't know what kind of price it has, but it's supposed to be a darker retelling, so I'm guessing that the magic is kind of twisty somehow. Sounds good, but I'm probably not going to read it soon. The next May 4th release I have is The Last Fallen Star by Graci Kim. This is under the Rick Riordan Presents label, which I'm super excited about because Rick Riordan, I feel like, finds some good middle grade fantasy stories. Anything like Percy Jackson is something that I want to read. So this one sounds really cool because this is like Korean witchcraft, okay? So the premise is that there is a line of Korean healing witches. There's a clan of them, and this girl was adopted. So she's not going to be in this clan, but she's excited to see her sister Hattie get initiated into this. So Riley and Hattie come up with this plan. So Hattie is from the line of witches, and Riley is her adopted sister. Riley is the main character in this. They come up with a plan for Riley to share part of Hattie's magic once they do this spell that will allow her to share magic. Something happens when this spell goes awry, and then Riley has to go on a quest to find the last fallen star to help save Hattie. I don't know what happened with this magic, but it sounds like, you know, Hattie's on the brink of death. Anyway, this sounds really cool. I'm into some middle grade fantasy. I have high hopes for that one. The next May 4th release I have is Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. This one sounds a little strange, but you know, go with me on this one. So this girl named Vern, she's 7 months pregnant, and she decides that she's gonna take off from this really strict religious, I don't know, commune that she belongs to, and she flees into the woods. While she's into the woods, she does give birth, and I think she has twins, but even while she's in the woods and having these twins and trying to raise them, she's still being hunted by this strict religious sector. All right, she fights back, and suddenly she fights back with this amount of brutality that no person should be allowed to have. So it's like, it almost sounds kind of fantasy-ish, like maybe some powers are going on. But it also, the blurb also said something about this this commune, that's the compound, that's kind of remote as opposed to the outside world through the woods. And it makes me think of The Village by M. Night Shyamalan, that like, something twisty is going on there, so my interest is piqued. The next May 4th release I have is Counting Down With You by Tashie Bhuiyan. This one sounds like a delightful little take on To All the Boys I've Loved Before. All right, so this girl's parents decided to go on a trip abroad, and they're gonna be away for 28 days. So during this time, she is tutoring the resident cool bad boy in the school, and while she's tutoring him, he comes up with a lie that they're actually dating. So it's the fake dating trope. I don't know why he comes up with this lie. I mean, it must serve some purpose that I'll read about in the book. But the whole counting down thing is that in 28 days she expects her life to return to normal. But you know what happens with the fake dating trope, all right? They're probably, well, not probably, they're gonna fall in love, okay? We know what's gonna happen. They're gonna fall in love while they're fake dating, and by the time that 28 days is counted down, they're probably, no, not probably, they're gonna decide not to call it off because they're gonna be in love. I know what's gonna happen, you know what's gonna happen, but I love reading these kind of books. I love it. The next release date I have is May 11th. This is Katharine Parr, The Sixth Wife by Alison Weir. Oh, my favorite, Alison Weir. So this is the last book in her series of The Six Wives of Henry Tudor. I was supposed to read Catherine Howard this month. This month did not go as planned. All right, so I'm gonna have to read Catherine Howard before I go on to Katharine Parr. I do think that I will do that though, and I get through them pretty quickly because they are that good. There's not much to say about this one other than it's about the life of Katharine Parr, and I hope it's as good as the other books in her series. The next and final release date I have is May 18th. I have 2 books coming out on this date. The first one is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. So this one follows a single mom. Whoop, whoop. I'm excited to read a love story about a single mom because that's what I am. So this one, I guess she got like really burned from the guy before, and she decides that she's never gonna date again. She is a stats and data analyst, all right? So she's very nerdy, very logical, all right? She likes things to make sense. So when she hears about an app that does DNA-based matchmaking, she was like, okay, well, I'll try this out because this is science and I like science. So she tries it out, she gets matched. She gets matched with the developer of this program that she already knows, doesn't like, can't believe it because she hates this guy. So what is it gonna be? The enemies to lovers trope. Love that trope, I am here for it. All right, so single mom, enemies to lover trope, that's all you need to know. And my last release for the month of May, same release date, May 18th, is Happy Endings by Thien-Kim Lim. Now this one, this one has the potential to be very raunchy, so let me tell you what happens in this one. So this is like a second chance lovers book, all right? So they're exes. He broke up with her on a Post-it note. Doesn't that sound familiar? Sex in the City? Like, why are we recycling things? Whatever. Okay, let's go past that. So the girl from this relationship, she decides that she's gonna go out on her own and have this sex toy shop, and she's gonna prove to her Vietnamese parents that she can do this and make it a lasting business. So wherever she goes at this first pop-up shop that she has, that's a big success, she runs into her ex. Now her ex's family's restaurant is failing. So they decide to combine their talents, all right, and try and make his restaurant a success by turning it into a pop-up shop for vibrators. I am not even making up this story. That is the blurb, and I am here for it. All right, so I believe that's like 9 releases that I have for the month of May, possibly 8, because, you know, that first one that I said went to March and then to May and then back to March. That one's going on the back burner, but I have high hopes that I will finish them all. All right, that's all that I got for you today. Thank you for tuning in to Elise Reads and Speaks, and I will catch you next time, guys. Bye!